back in 23, it was the fall of 23, one of my friends invited me to go to a meeting of LifeWave. And I kind of was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me, a network marketing, so I kind of, stewed around a little bit about it. And so I was like, okay, I'll go. So I went, sat in the back, and I was expecting a big whiteboard with, legs coming off of it, just the normal, network type of a meeting. And it wasn't. It was all about the science. And, Eric, people know Eric Fan, and he was patching people. And I sat there and I watched and I was blown away. Now, for it's coming on 28 years that we've been into natural health and herbs and all that kind of stuff. My husband's a master herbalist. So this was part of our life. And so opening this whole technology was really new. So I was in disbelief. I mean, no way can a little patch like this, help. There's no way. So I went to the second meeting and same thing. I mean, he presented it, patched these people, and people were, starting to get feeling in their face. And I was like, whoa. So I just listened. And at the end of the meeting, Eric came back and he says, look, you've been here twice. Do you have any questions? And I said, actually, I do. Not one time have you presented to say how much these patches cost. And I said, I can appreciate that you didn't throw these figures at us. And the science about it is really intriguing to me. So I had a few minor issues that I was dealing with, which was my thumb. I got injured when I was 15. It was caught in a door. When I turned 49, 50, this thing started clicking, that joint. Well, as time went on, it got stiff. Now I'd take herbs and I'd use all kinds of stuff and put on it and sleep well. By morning, this thumb was stiff. It wasn't going to move. And so this was a downside for me because of all the bottles and the twisting. I couldn't even open a bottle of water and can opener. No way. I was teaching my left hand to do it. And so I just kind of was putting it off. And so I said to the Eric that night, I said, okay. And after he gave me the figures, I said, I want the diamond. And they about all fell off their chairs. Well, if you do the math, it's simple, right? So anyway, I got it in the mail and I set it on my office shelf, never told my husband. I was like, okay, I really don't know enough about it. So I hadn't went back to another meeting, and the first time of using the patches was on my husband. He had injured his back and he locked up his right side, his kidney. So he goes to bed. He was doing some steam cleaning of the carpets and lifting furniture, and that's where he twisted it. Midnight, he wakes up, had to urinate. He couldn't. The pain was so excruciating. He gets in the bathtub, does an Epsom salt bath, tries to take some kidney herbs. It wasn't going to open anything up. He starts throwing up. So he's texting me. I'm passed out sleeping. Finally, after 2 hours, he comes out and said, honey, I got to go to the ER. And I was like, what? What? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. And he's telling me all this stuff. And I said, let me try three things. And it popped in my mind. I had patches sitting out on my office shelf. Went out there and not going into so much detail. I did the X39 at the top of the spine. And then down on the right where his pain was, I did the ice wave. 2 meetings is all I watched for Eric to patch in these people. And I hit it. Less than a minute, he was pain free. No ER. I told myself after that, all right, I'm going to work on this thumb and I am going to try to get this arthritis in this joint so it's not stiff every morning. And I was going to get in treatments to the chiropractor. So think of the money that I was spending for that. And I tell you, it would feel better, but it'd come back on that joint. And I decided to start November 1st of 23. And I did not put it on my joint on my hand because I still wanted to keep on working. I used the spine. The spine is so uniquely connected to everything in your body. It took 2.5 weeks. And that one morning, I woke up with no stiff thumb coming all the way to the palm of my hand. This arthritis has never come back. I patch X39, X49, and Eon every single day. And at night, I do the carnosine and Alavita. And I'm amazed. I've got full strength in those
Oh, look at the
fingers.
motion in your hand. Look at your motion.
Right. It's no stiffness. By now, at the end of the day, this thing would be cranking hard. And Yes. So I'm very blessed to have that. I mean, a thumb is so valuable. You go try to, and I'm going to get a little graphic here, but you get up in the morning, you try to go wipe yourself with four fingers and no thumb. That's really crucial. You can't balance the sink and toilet paper. You go try to do that. Hold four fingers with your toilet paper and you try. That's a
I
little
won't even think
graphic.
about it.
It's a little graphic, but you know
Yeah, that
what?
is.
It comes down to be real, how that thumb is so important when you're
Wow.
writing. I mean, everything, it just hurt. And so I feel very blessed that I was shared and went to those meetings. And I found out the consistency of wearing the patches. Okay. That at the end of the day, you go and you, oh man, I forgot. Okay, you come to the point. I finally have told people it's like putting on a piece of clothing. You just peel and stick. It's just part of getting dressed. And so, and there's other things. My hair is growing. I used to have thin hair. I told my boys, I'm looking at wigs. I think I'm going to go bald. Now with the patches, I actually got hair. It's thick. It's really doing good. And then my last experience with the patches, Ice Wave, is really amazing. I'll say this one real quick. You know this one, David. I had to have a tooth pulled back in October before conference going to Anaheim. And I went into the dentist and I told him, look, I don't want any of that stuff that, numbs everything. I don't want that. We all know the liver's going to have to process that. And I didn't want to deal with it. And so they said, well, we got to give you a little bit. And I said, well, I want the least. And I said, but first, I want to put these two patches on here. And I told him a little bit about Life Wave. It was a bottom tooth down here. I put the tan of the Ice Wave right here and the white one on the other side. And he went to work. He gets that little, the needle, and he says, now you're going to feel a little pinch. I barely felt anything. He comes right onto the tooth where he's going to pull. And he says, now you feel a little pinch. Never felt nothing. And all along, he told me, you just raise your hand if you need any more of this numbing stuff. And he'd check in with me. You doing okay? I'm going to come down on the nerve and I'm really going to pull this tooth. It's going to hurt. And I'm waiting for hurt. And it never hurt. It was the best experience at the dentist. So now I'm going to get an implant in there. And so I'm going to go in with my patches. But my dentist, my actual dentist, this was another guy because I kind of had to go in real quick with it. He came in and said, what in the world are these patches? So we've got some work to do on my mouth, but I'm going with patches. I mean, it's amazing. I love them. So yeah, I've got a son home right now and he's got a sore throat. And I was like, get that glutathione on there. So be prepared, have the patches in stock so you can grab them. So loving the patches.
Thank you for watching. And to learn more about this amazing technology, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.